shoot. I just, by accident. Whoa! Huh? That's too loud. Hello? Oh no. Huh. Oh, see, that makes sense.
Read the disclaimer.
Hello everyone to the weekend review where I recap the previous week and anything extra. Alright, see, there we go. Alright. Yeah, I was just testing the audio for a second because I haven't done it in so long, so apologies. I'm going to try to make sure not to forget to cut the start. I usually just keep the countdown. I was testing my mic thing because I have not been able to. But, oh, this should be working. Why is it not? Oh no, this is disconnected. No wonder. Okay. I'll fix this, hold on. Yeah, my remote got disconnected. That's not fun. Well, anyways, topics for this week are going to be pretty much straightforward. I'm going to hit it with the explosion again, actually. Actually, no, this should actually work out fine. Our topics for this week is going to be CerberusFlame. So if you are joining right now, this is pretty much where I just try to recap any of the more recent news, whatever. I've been trying to, get on other videos this week, but this is pretty much what happened to me for the whole week, what I've been up to. I've been sick. I've been really bad. My nose has been, congested for, a few days now, so basically one side is blocked off. So for breathing-wise, that's not fun. I don't know. Sometimes I just get hit crazy. But some other stuff to actually talk about now. Okay, this should work. I'm gonna see if the remote actually works so I can test this out. Whoa! Hold on. Okay, there we go. See, the remote works. Other stuff that I've done recently. Last week I was attending GoLM, which is It's Get On My Level. I did the wrong assortment of letters. Let me get a PNG right of that. So last week we had a little Beyblade thing there. There's 3 blocks. Let me get the PNG here. So I participated in 2 blocks out of 3 because I was really exhausted. I did get top 4 with this deck, but I don't know if I'm going to count it because top 4 is not top 3. And the other one I got top 8, so that was even worse than the other one. But the combos I used, Widget Rod 160 Hexa, Aero Pegasus 180 low flat, which you're going to be asking why that... I don't know, it was a really funny combination. I think when you get the 80 height and you actually bring it onto a really low height bit, which we'll actually get into with the alleged under flats that should be coming out, I think it's a really, really smart idea. What else did I do? Holy shit, I'm spacing out like crazy. Oh, and also, obviously, Hover Wyvern on 760 LR. So that's your basic, that's the classic combination. Classic. I'm still here. I somehow turbo allergies out of nowhere, and best of luck on recovery. If it sucks ass, I cannot sleep properly for like 3 days. 3 days! But, on some of the other topics that we have here, my thing is literally bugging out right now. Yeah, so I did the tournament stuff, whatever, and basically the whole goal with that is I'm trying to basically win every month, or not every month, I'm trying to win with every latest release. So, I did it previously. Now, the issue is, before compared to now, our scene is a lot more active. Like, there's literally, these are almost like 40 people events, and sometimes even more. So, it gets even tougher because then to get top cuts is already tough enough as is. Plus, on top of that, to get top 3 is not exactly easy. So I'm going to be throwing out this stipulation, and it's alright if it's no, but is this content okay if I at least attempted it? Because I have so much footage that if it's like, no, you have to get top 3, then that's fair enough. Because in fairness, I did say, can I win, not I will win. So I'm going to go with that. That's how I'm going to legally get out of my own bullshit. So, other stuff I've been working on also, by the way, is this tier list video. I was supposed to be editing this quite a bit. The tier list video is like, I think, super long, but the whole purpose of that video is actually just to be like a very extensive, okay, here's a combo guide, but here's also information if you're wondering on parts. Some stuff is technically repeated, and I say technically in air notes, because obviously some things, nothing really changes, but I think what's really fun about this type of content is to really drive a good discussion. I also would be lying if I didn't just say this is for the watch time, so that's why the video's also long. No, but I did, the thing is this, I'm not trying to do it lazy where I just kind of like, just get tier lists on the side and I just go up and down, whatever. I'm actually trying to get a lot of B-roll, but the thing is I'm pretty much doing every single release up until this point, minus obviously the collaborations, because there's so much leeway in between each other. Where they're like almost virtually the same. But I think it's, I don't know, I'm hoping to get it out by, what day is it today? Today is a Saturday. Yeah, I'll probably be able to edit a lot of it, because Monday's going to be the Koro news. And then after, from there's another video I have to get on the Koro. So probably would be everything up, and there'll be 3 uploads this coming week. We'll be catching up on our schedule. If it's fun, I think it's worthwhile. That is also fair enough indeed. That is fair enough indeed. Yeah. But that's also going to be something fun to actually get into. Is Tricera competitive-wise? I got it like a week ago. I don't have my tier list PNG. That's exactly why, because we're waiting on the video. I got you. No. For the Tricera thing, return it. Return it. We tried out Metal 85. It's the biggest piece of dog shit I've ever seen. It's just bad. It doesn't work on Cobalt Dragoon, because while Cobalt Dragoon can equalize, you have no other reason to use it, because you can just use something lower height and mitigate a lot of risk. It doesn't work on something heavy like Scorpio Spear. It's a very much, I think, one of the worst ratchets in Beyblade X. I think 85 is probably the worst height that they've released. Not even just because it's all just easy to burst. Tricera Press for the blade, I think, is just mid. I think defense, I did a video on it recent, which Tricera, I already didn't expect much. It didn't seem like that popular of a release. But I did like a basic defense combo. It's kind of just average, I would say. So if you're trying to look into the release, you could have it, and it can do okay, but it's nothing special. I think Rhino Reaper and Whale Flame will appear in the Beyblade X. Well, probably if they did a release. What else do we got here? Yeah, I've tried out Phoenix Wing 780 LR before. It's pretty, 80 height, I think, is really underrated in terms of just using it on really low height bits. Because it's kind of like a cheat code where you just use extra weights. Doesn't mean they're perfect, by the way. But speaking of 80 heights, okay, I'm gonna go with that transition. We have the CerberusFlame entire video that they did, which is probably, I would say, one of the funniest random booster lineups, where I think the blade choice is pretty nice. Bottom parts, kind of mid. Not that good. Not that exciting, but we'll kind of get into it. So everything is releasing, by the way, next week. And I should also mention, this week for news is going to go really, really crazy. And I know that chair is really annoying. I do have to oil that chair eventually. But, okay, where do we got? They showed this at the end of the video. So the Xover project is supposed to be July 17th. So that's supposed to be, I think it's like July 16th, but it's going to be late at the night. We're supposed to get some crossover. I keep on saying Xover. It's crossover, but I keep forgetting that the X means cross. I'm assuming this is supposed to be like a Rock Leone, maybe. I think Metal Fight has to be next because they always go in like a sequence where it's like, okay, Drasil, or no, El Drago, Drasil, Excalibur, and then after, what was the next one? No, yeah, the next one would have to be Metal Fight. If they do Wolborg, I don't think it makes much sense. Well, Wolborg would be next, but I'm very certain Rock Leone would make the most sense. Plus, it would be like a Metal Fight month, basically. Very curious, though. Now, from what I understand, because obviously I am a seller on Ball of Beys. Oh, that is also our segue. I need to plug my store. Yeah, my nose starts getting the shit. That's when you know it's starting to kick in. Do I not have a PNG of Mall of Beys? This is insane. This is actually insane. Okay, we're gonna go with the channel banner. Oh no, wait, I have this one from Bird Pointing. Excellent! Okay, so some changes have happened since I last talked about it, because DHL was on strike. Now DHL is fine, which is good, because that means there's not gonna be any real shipment delay for my stuff. Assuming there's no weird shit with customs going on. But Canada Post is where this gets really tricky, because Canada Post is obviously the main thing that I use to ship out my stuff. But we've used basically an alternate, which is just FedEx, UPS, that type of stuff. God, excuse me. But the issue with that is that I did get some loss in some of the shipping. What I mean by that is basically, obviously if you're paying for Canada Post, it's a much cheaper rate than a FedEx or a UPS, but I wanted to make sure the stuff got shipped out. So I am going to be restocking, for an example, on Pegasus Blast, which is going to be restocked, and plus also if the XO for pre-orders this week, obviously that one too. But the issue is, I do not know if Canada Post is still going to be okay to use or not, so I might switch to UPS, which is going to be a little bit more expensive rates, but that's also more of the guarantee, because if Canada Post doesn't work 100%, and I will be checking this week just to be sure, because I don't exactly know, in truth, if Canada Post is on an overtime strike, if they still do international to the US and whatever, and still do like domestic and all that stuff. Because the last thing I want is if I would use Canada Post and that shit gets delayed. So I'm very like careful right now, but I will be restocking on Pegasus Blast. The only reason why it hasn't popped up yet on the store is I need to get my confirmed stock. So for example, if I have one box and that box is guaranteed, okay, so I know that much. And if I have a second box, I don't know if I get the entire full box sometimes, because Beyblade X has been dealing with this issue, I think now for like 2 years, where a lot of times, limited stock, limited quantity. I think this happened with Cerberus, where even though this is not the same, mine thing got stuck just because of customs, but I think people who get Hong Kong stock, it got pushed by 1 week just for whatever reason, so yeah, I'm not too sure. But Mall of Beys! My store! And the best part about it, we don't use AI! Ah, it's a good plug. Fuck 'em! Ha! Okay, that was a little intense there. Yeah, but aside from that, let's talk about this random booster lineup. Who's excited for it? We get Metal Needle! Wow! Do you think that they will attempt to give Leon a proper bid, something like Ball, or will they just give some wacky defense? Now the speculation that people have... My mic is echoey. Is it? Let me listen. Ooh. How do I sound like right now? The proper bid, something like Ball, or... Oh, that does sound weird. Hold on. The hell? Let me check something. That just sound... Oh. Whoa. That just sound... Oh. Does this sound better? Okay. I did not even realize that. Yeah, what is going on with my mic? Looks like it's doing the camera audio, not my regular audio. That's strange. Oh, I see. Hold on. Okay, so basically what's going on is... For some reason, my mic is not plugged into it. That's weird. Oh, not now. Oh, shit. So all this time I had dog shit audio. Oh, shit. God damn it. Okay, I'll say what happened here. This is kind of funny. My camera that's plugged into this, right? Hold on. I have to move my mic closer now because now I just realized my mic is far away. I'm talking now. There we go. The stupid shit wasn't plugged in. God damn it. Okay, well, now it's the real talk. Now we get to the real topic and discussion. Okay, I'm just gonna put this. Sounds fine. Okay, that's my bad. I apologize for that. So, woo, that's that makes a lot more sense because I was wondering why every time I would punch on my mic, it wasn't working. Okay, hold on. I have to just level this shit out. Wait, whoa, that's too much. Whoa, okay, that's close enough. Yeah, I'm so sorry about that. That's really my bad. That's what we call an oopsie daisy on there. That's why you know I've been sick. I literally, I unplugged the thing. I unplugged the thing. And no more Zoom call. Listen. You can cook me on that one. That's a bit of an L. That's a bit of an L. Okay, well, see, the moment I started making fun of Buster, that's when it started. That was the mistake there. See, that's kind of ironic in a way because I already sound sick. So then after the audio also sounds sick. Okay. Well, the Drum Buster, recolor. We'll talk about it. So this one's pretty cool looking, I would say. It's a cool thing because it's actually a color reference to the Grade Drawn sword. So I think that's actually a really, really cool callback that they did. I really love it when they reference previous recolors. I think it's something really cute when they do that. I think as a recolor, it looks pretty good. Obviously, the bottom parts are kind of just, they don't really match each other. Like, obviously, the 580 is so you can give it to the recolor of Cerberus. And then after, what is it, Metal Needle, it's not a good part. This is probably the worst pull in the random booster, I would say. Like, Drawn Buster's a really solid attack blade, but is it really worth it in terms of getting this pull by itself? No. That's why it's always really tricky, so I always try to give two perspectives. If you get a full set, I generally think, because you're getting everything, I don't think it matters, but if you're trying to pull individually, yeah, I don't really like it quite a bit. I do like the prongs on this, by the way. Nice solid blue. I would have thought... No, I think the blue actually contrasts really well, because if it was black or gray, I think it would look very muted, so I do like it. They put 580 twice in the set. Well, it is actually to make the second prize Beyblade, so obviously, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But yeah, this is a nice recolor, the Sans Buster. I think I called the old one Sans Sword. I like this recolor. I would love to see for the future them do this for Dagger or other stuff. Even in general, like I really wish the Wizard Rod, if they did a reprint in a random booster, like it would immediately remedy so much. Like you could literally do like that red or orange Wizard Rod as a recolor and give them Metal Needle. I don't think anyone would care because it's just Wizard Rod, but yeah, not too bad. This one I think is my favorite one. And I do think the parts in it, well, I don't know about the bottom part, but I do think it does look really, really nice. Like, look at this. You get 770, which I think is a very, very good ratchet in terms of attack. Wall ball. And a nice pink. Look at that. Very, very beautiful. I like this one quite a bit. I like, I don't know what shade of purple that is. Lily? Is that the right one? Lily purple? Is that the right type of purple I'm thinking of? No, that's not the right shade. Lilac? Lilac purple? Okay, that's the purple I'm thinking of. There we go. Pink shell. True! This is their best. They got to do more pink recolors, and they're kind of getting close, right? Because we do have the Tough Commandment, which is pink, actually pink, and then the Wizard Arc. This one's like they need to be a little more committed. They need to be a little bit more committed. The blue there is a little bit weird, but I do like the overall stuff. This looks very, very nice. I do think we should get more. I don't know why they're scared of pink. It's a nice color, complements a lot of these bays. Yeah, actually, the blue there looks actually pretty nice now that I'm seeing it a little bit closer. But yeah, this one I think is really good for this. I think this is way better than the Buster. Like, in terms of parts and everything, Like, even Shell's not better than Buster for attack, but Shell at least looks really cooler. So, I don't know. We're going to give Shell points. Then after you have Cobalt Dragoon on 455 and Wall Ball. Cobalt Dragoon is used on things other than Elevate. I use it on like 560 Low Rush. I do think it's a decent attacker. I think that's probably the hot take. But I do like it quite a bit. I do think the color choice is a little bit, I don't know, weird. Because it's yellow and white, so you would think, okay, they'll maybe have like a yellow 455. I don't really think this color matches other than the bit, so that's really weird. And shout out Cypress in the chat right now. God bless his soul. It's like lilac or lavender to me. Yep. I don't have the color names like that off the top of my head, so if I misspeak, that is my bad. This is... Whoa! What the fuck are you guys talking about here? I keep on... We're gonna call it the Sunny D Goon. No, that's not right. Cobalt Sunny D. That's the nickname for it. I don't know. I don't want to call it Piss Goon because it sounds really fucking bad, and I don't want to say that in an actual video. I said it actually in the news video, and I do regret it because it's a stupid name. It's 2 bad names already. Because Cobalt Dragoon, we're shorting to Goon, it's already bad. Then it's... I only say, like, piss on, like, the bad yellow recolors. Like, this is not a bad yellow. This is, like, it has sparkles and shit. This looks cool. This looks nice. This one is ugly, though. This is the worst one. Now, you could say this is a reference to Cerberus from Burst, because of the color choice. It looks ugly. It looks like vomit. It looks like something I would puke out. Look at this. Now, in fairness, you do get the prize Assist Blade. Okay, and 160 I guess you can get away with. But flat is such an L. We don't need flat. We've gotten... Do rush! Do another low rush! I don't know why we have to get flat. It's either this or it's low flat that they do. What else do we got here? But no, I hate this one. This one looks really awful. This is like vomit. Actual vomit personified as a Bey. 455 looks very different from the other 4 ratchets. It could be new. Well, if you use 455, it's not really used on anything. People have tried to use it. I've tried to use it on right spin stuff. It scrapes, and there's no real reason to. People only use it on Cobalt just because it's a lower height equalizer, just meaning, I don't know, maybe it's harder to burst or something. I think 455 is really no real use. I think Cobalt's just kind of like the cope that we try to give it. Middle Needle's not really a problem. Here in my community, there is not a ban on that bit, and it never really damaged my stadium, but Whale Wave has broken 3. That's crazy. I don't like Middle Needle mostly just because you can launch to avoid the dent stadiums, but I don't want people to use it and dent my stadiums in case, because obviously the angle of how you shoot and how hard you slam onto the floor, that one's really crazy. Yeah, the Cerberus is really... the Cerberus is only... And also, the dark main blade's not really good. I think dark... It's as bad as Reaper, and Reaper's also really, really bad. I mean, the purple... Nothing color matches, and that's my thing, too. It's like... I know that they're trying to do this thing where, oh, capitalism, buy more, complete the full Bey! But, I don't know, it doesn't look that nice. I also feel, well, actually, this is going to be Mako Summer. Someone dubbed that term Mako Summer, because I just realized she gets a Bey in July and in August. Well, actually, I don't know if Mako uses this whale, but Whale Flame, which I think is really redundant, but because it's a whale, but I don't know. 385 high taper. 385 is really useless. Nobody used, even if there was some 80 height thing, whatever, it would have still been probably... Actually, ironically, it would have made more sense if you gave Whale this 580. It actually color matches a lot better. Does it? No, I'm coping. I don't care. It would have looked funny. And high taper is like a whatever bit, like... High taper, I don't really think gets much use. I don't really think you need to use it, because you just use regular taper. And I don't really like high taper in terms of any real viability. In terms of the other stuff here, what do we got? Massive! I don't have the ninja clip to use for the low taper meme. Someone has to clip that for me, please. This one, the only thing new is the assist blade, and I don't really know if it's going to do much at all. The issue with a lot of these things is that a lot of these releases are dependent on assist blade use, and I don't really think we're getting much variety right now. Now, we are going to talk about Cerberus right now, which lovely dog, owned by Myrian? Myron? That is not his name. Whatever, close enough. Mizu? The Kerbex dude. Now they have his bay here. And I think this is probably going to be maybe more exciting than Pegasus Blast. Maybe. And we'll kind of go to it. That's an oxymoron, not redundant. Well, how about this correction? I'm sick, so that means I'm stunned on thinking. Take that. Yeah. But in terms of the Cerberus here, 580, which I think is really lame. We should have got something. I would have taken like a 680. I don't really care for the 5 sides. Or do something new and interesting. And obviously wall ball. I don't know. Assist blades need to get more creative or be made out of metal if they want to make CX more viable. Well, CX has a lot of issues. I think a big thing that they're going to probably need is height for a lot of these things to change, or the weight distribution and how they fill the metal blades, because a lot of these things have weird gaps and holes in them that don't really make much sense. Mako Summer, I'll get a train. God bless your soul. Why know why? I don't know why I'm saying the full name like that. Shout out Peggy for all the great journalism that they do and helping out in the Bay community. The main blade could be used for an attack. Probably. This is basically just Silverwolf CX. That's how I kind of view it, because it's very 3-bladed. It's very thick blade. I am liking, by the way, that the assist blade looks very, very thick. So I am hoping it's going to be pretty heavy. Now, obviously, we already know that this assist blade is going to be tall, but I don't really think that matters that much. So long as the weight distribution isn't too bad, in theory, we could potentially have it where this might not be bad for stamina. Otherwise, it has to be defense, because there's no way it's ass. It can't be. Like, it's a very round-off shape. I think this has to have some sort of use. 080 would have been alright. Yeah, I agree with this. 080 would have probably made a... 060 would have been really funny, too. Would have probably died, but it would have been really funny to get 060, because it would just scrape on the floor and lose, but... Yeah, no, I agree with that for sure. I think I just hit the wrong button. I have to make sure I didn't accidentally... Okay, I did not. And then after wall ball, now, I don't like... I'm going to say why I don't like this bit, so it doesn't seem like I'm just hating for no reason at all, and I'm just kind of like yammering on. Okay, so a big issue with a lot of bits like this is being bottom heavy. So what that basically means is that the more heavy you are on the bottom, the easier it's going to be to lift yourself up and to cause a burst like that. So that's why, for an example, something like Transpoint is so easy to burst even with high resistance. Elevate, I think, gets away with it just because it's used on an equalizer, so a lot of times you don't see those bit bursts, but like Gear Needle, Gear Bowl, Glide, they all suffer from the same issue. A shout out to Soulkeeper for the 0.99 donation. God bless your soul. But Glide, the issue is that when you have a low resistance bit, they're so bottom heavy, it's easier for them to eject. And we've seen this with Glide. Now, even if in theory, right, let's argue best case for this. Let's say that the stamina is 10 out of 10. When you have 16 gears, that is to your detriment. Now, if this was something like Hexa, where it had a strong resistor on there, I would probably not care at all, and it would probably be really interesting. The issue with Beyblade X, and you're starting to see this from almost like over a year that's passed, is that there is no variation in burst resistance. It's either 30 or it's 80, and it's a very stupid choice, because yes, I understand that if, let's say, you gave some bit that has stamina, super high resistance, yes, that would probably creep in the metagame, because then after people would spam that, strong resistance, yeah. But you gotta do something, man. Some of these things gotta have something to them. Because 16 gears is gonna just make this thing speed up. You're gonna waste stamina, right? Even if you want to argue Hexa, which is good, Hexa is really bad when the 16 gears work and activate. It does not work to its favor. I understand if this is the only way because of a design choice, but I do not like it. Now, Wall Ball's gimmick, I think, is supposed to just, regain stability every single time. I think his design doesn't look that bad, but just the fact that it's going to be bottom heavy, and the 16 gears, I think is to its detriment. We need more burst resistance variation. I agree with this, 100%, 3,000%. What else do we got there? Anything would have been better than Metal Gear. Oh, this is something about the Drum Buster thing. Okay, I need to catch up. Elevate doesn't get away with it on most bays. It bursts on everything so easily. Yeah, I think Elevate, I'm trying to think what people would use it on that's right spin, because I talked about this, I think, in the tier list video. Scorpio Spear, because it's heavy, and I think also Silverwolf, you get away with it. Other stuff, not so much. Not so much. And it's a really weird choice because I don't even think if Elevate had strong resistance, like, what would really be the difference in the metagame? Like, I can't really think of anything. Like, even if Elevate was, like, regular attack bit resistance, like, I don't really think it's that consistent against Ball. Like, at least not to my memory, like Insane Spin, so I don't know. Again, TT for game balancing. Some choices very, very smart this generation, but a lot of stuff is still really, really not doing good for them. I wonder if they'll make tight ratchets that turn low resistant bits and that's the shit they should have done on 85 resistance. That's what they should have done. That would have made so much sense. Hover Wyvern. This is for Elevate. That probably makes sense. Hover Wyvern, I'm scared of low resistance stuff because I've seen it die. I've seen Samurai on Elevate quite a bit a few times. I can outspin Silverwolf. Is this on the tall? I think. Wow, I said I think. Okay. Whoa. I just stuttered twice there. I think I saw Fable do a combo like that. I think I saw that in a tournament a while back on like 385 Elevate or something like that. That would be interesting, and I think that can maybe work because Saber's a weak destabilizer, so might be able to get away with some stuff, but yeah, if you're looking at Flame right now, which we're going to skip through the bit stuff. Bit, I think is, I don't like the design. I like the side dogs, I don't like the front dog. It's too much like a dog, even though it is a dog. It should be more like a hell dog, not a dog dog. Okay, I think I just stunned myself for a second there, just saying that again. This one is like a weird thing, because the thing with CX I don't get is that obviously, if you were to take apart a UX and a BX design, yes, obviously some sections are going to be hollowed out, and that makes sense, but can someone explain to me the design purpose of giving this thing ventilation? Why couldn't they just fill out those metal sections? I'm not talking about like, oh, it's hollow. Why have that in the design? I don't understand it. It seems like a weird design choice. I have no idea why they do that. It's a very weird thing. They put it where why does the plastic have extra holes there? I don't know why we can't just have something completely filled out in shape. Maybe, I don't know. Because then if you argue game balancing, it's like, it gets so tricky because game balancing doesn't always work in their favor. Like, Ghost Circle is dog shit. So clearly, game balancing doesn't work that well. Their game balancing is either god tier or they just fuck it over. So it's one or the other. They never get, I don't know. That's why I think maybe with this assist blade, it has to work out because it's literally filling in the entire section there. This also, for some reason, reminds me of the Galaxy Pegasus shape. Looking at the underside like this. Which ironically does work better, because all those Pegasus shapes from Storm to Galaxy are more stamina than they were attack. Yeah. But this assist blade looks pretty good, because it looks a lot thick, so if this is going to be super heavy like turn, and it fills out, if at peak, maybe this might somehow make a CX stamina work. Maybe. But in worst case, like, it doesn't work out, same issue CX always deals with, you could be looking at just defense, and maybe real defense, not like low tier defense, whatever. Like, even for, like, Perseus, whatever, I wanted to do a video with it. Even that one I don't think is that reliable, in my opinion. X is definitely better than any generation in terms of well, I don't know. I would have to really think long about this. Better than Burst, maybe. But Metal Vine and Plastic Gen, that's where it gets tricky to say. Yeah, but TT has a lot of odd choices here for sure. Are there holes? I don't know. Listen, I'm not a physics expert, so I don't actually know why they do it. I don't know. I love Ghost Circle too, but listen, that shit's ass. And people's gotta stop saying that stupid ass thing where they go, well, it's not Wizard Rod. Well, Zankye, it's not Wizard Rod 2. So that means we can make a really shitty option for people to buy. See? Well, it wasn't another wizard. It's such a stupid thing to say, because now we have Scorpio Spear, which does show you that you can have another meta option that can be used against other stuff without changing the meta and hurting it. My stance is going to be very easy. I don't think we need to have a literal thing that dethrones Wizard Rod completely. I think we can have more viable options that makes the pool more exciting in terms of competing. I think that's a pretty fair take to have, right? I don't think anyone, when they say I want a good stamina release, they mean no. We have to make a new top dog and we're gonna make it 45 grams. No, Like, Silverwolf is a destabilizer, it works out. Scorpio Spear is also a destabilizer and mostly a weight bully, so it works out. Now you can at least make a Dragoon Yellow Elevate combo. This is true. We'll seem super interesting for stamina and defense, even if it fails for stamina. Well, it can't fail for attack, because attack, it's literally going to be the same thing as turn, so attack, it should work out. CX is more focused on plastic. And you want to know what? When people said this before, I'm like, no, this can't be. And, yeah, honestly, they were right. They were right, for sure. My Cobalt Elevate was beating my Rod. Whoa! Take it easy there. What are you doing? What are you doing with the Bey practicing? Scorpio Spear made me excited for future gimmicks that... Well, Scorpio Spear's gimmick doesn't really work. Well, not that it doesn't work. It doesn't do anything. Nothing that's, like, actually there. Scorpio Spear only works just because it's really heavy. That's the only real thing that works for it. But, I don't know. Okay, now, we're going to move on to the next thing here. What do we got? They just show basically the other stuff. They showcase a little bit of whale here. I'm kind of a little bit upset that Mako... By the way, shout out Mako Summer. Get that trending. Get that trending on the Beyblade places. Because Mako gets like 2 releases this month. By the way, I don't know if I'm the only one who thinks this, but... you know how, like, the original whale design, they have, like, the eye on the front and, like, the top of it? Even though I don't think, like, atomically, whatever, it's correct. Like, the eye should be probably back there. When the eye's so far away, I forgot that it even had an eye to begin with. The Massive Assist Blade is literally just designed like Whale Wave, but the thing is this, and I have to keep saying this, it's like, your generation is focused on metal contact. Plastic should never be the focus. If plastic is the focus, that's a very, very, like, I don't know, tricky thing. Now, maybe Massive works a little bit better than Bumper, where it's not as exposed and it just holds there. I don't even know what this shit's supposed to do. I don't know. It's probably some stupid thing like, oh, it's going to destabilize opponents. Maybe some defense stuff. I don't really know. Listen, for casual stuff, I think CX is really cute and fun for all the combinations that you can do. But for comp stuff, I've just kind of given up until I actually start seeing something get over 50% for a win ratio. Now, if you are rich and you can get an entire set, capitalism, look at this. You can complete and make an entire Blue Inferno CerberusFlame. I do kind of wish the blue was opaque, like transparent, because that would have been really sick. This looks not too bad. I do like most of it. Like, this looks very, very pretty. I do wish the metal was painted, because that would have been a really cool callback. But, yeah, this looks pretty nice, I would say. They do showcase it against some stuff, whatever. Like, Cerberus is tanking Drone Buster. Again, these videos are obviously rigged for the releases. Whale nukes Golem stock, which is kind of easy to do, because I just made the 160 tap on the wrong end. And the last one. I think this comes out, I think it's next month for the rare Beyblade, by the way. Wizard Arc Pink. Looks really nice. I would have liked it maybe if the round was opaque, but I don't know if opaque plastic is easier to kill or something like that. It's a very cute rare Bey. I would have liked a little bit more pink, maybe I'm being greedy with it, but I feel like there's too much black there compared to the pink, because, like, there's only pink really on the chip and then after on the assist blade, but then after it's like, why not, I don't know, why not give a little bit more? Now, they do actually showcase one thing, which we're going to be talking about here. A big one, which is Shark. So this is obviously a teaser, which we're going to get more info, I think, on Monday? Right? Monday? Whoa. Monday? This is supposed to be, I think it's what's called Shark Scale or whatever. Now, I have my dog shit Photoshop, which we're going to be showcasing right now for the discussion on this. But if you'll notice on the render, I think it has something like a 460. I do actually think we're going to be getting under flat. And that might be really good news for CX attack types, because CX is already super tall when CX is like at 60 height. And what I mean by tall, right, because technically speaking, it's all the same height. I mean the metal contact. And the metal is usually placed around like 80 height or whatever. So I think if we do get that under flat, I'm assuming under flat, some like super low bit, this would make CX really viable. Now, this is my terrible Photoshop, but I think for the discussion for the Mako Summer, we'll get through it. But yeah, I don't really think this will have upper attack. To be honest, I think Shark now, the more I look at it, it is more smash than upper. It would be cool if we could get like a future Shark where they basically just reverse the contact points and they don't keep it like Basically upside down. So if you know Drigger V2, that's like real upper attack. Or like Rage Longinus, whatever. From Beyblade Burst, that's another one that's a real example. Because Shark is closer to Smash Attack, to be honest with you, than it is upper. And that includes Croc as well. High flat. I would die slowly. I would die slowly. We got a Black Wizard Arc before a Black Wizard Rod. To be honest, I think a Black Wizard Rod for a rare Beyblade would be actually cooler. It is what it is. Whoa! Okay, y'all gotta chill a little bit. I saw a sketch and it's more shaped like Rage Longinus. Well, yeah, I saw the sketch too, but obviously that's just based off like the 144p render. But that sketch looked like crazy good. So I don't know. If it is like Rage or like Bigger V2, that'll be pretty exciting. UX Shark is always going to be really cool to see. We did get the news on Monday. That's going to be really fun. And plus there's the BX booster, so that's going to be cool to see. Scale does look like they have 2 main hexagon blades, like Shark. But yeah, well, hopefully we'll see. Massive seems like it's going to be a massive L due to the height and wacky shape. Yeah, most of CX is not really fun to use, but I'm still trying to figure out stuff. It's not easy. What else do we got here to talk about? No, yeah, but that's kind of it. I thought they would have revealed the rare Beyblade for the new season or whatever. I guess not. And they could maybe reveal it or tease it in this Koro, but I don't know. Because Aero Pegasus is still your main rare Beyblade. They could be obviously maybe pushing it, so in reality, you do have to wait, like, closer to when the new season actually starts before we actually see the next rare Beyblade. But I think maybe we get that reveal fully in August or something. I don't know. I'm still waiting on it. So on some other stuff, by the way, we do have our X over news, which is going to be middle this week. Monday, there's going to be news. So pretty much the goal for the rest of this week. Not unless I get more sick for whatever reason, which God forbid. My schedule for this week is going to be pretty much, what do we got here? News discussion, follow up on HD parts, because we're going to have more clearer renders. And then after the tier list video, and then after leading through that, we have the week of all those releases and stuff. I'm trying to work on that El Drago Bay history, but I feel like I'm cursed every time, where the moment I'm trying to progress one way or the other, something is stopping me. But I'll get through it eventually. CX is slowly coming out with combos that work. But I doubt anything stock will... Well, I never talk about stock. I'm talking about literally any combination. You see 0 presence in tournaments, and that's including Japan, Asia region, even in North America. So for a few months now, they have no presence in tournaments. It's not that they're underrated, or I'm not saying you're saying that, but it's a clear indication that they are quite literally just not at a level where people who want to compete and do well and get that top 3 want to use it. TD will probably release a blue shelter. I don't know. They usually reveal the rare Get Battle Bay in a live stream or something. I don't remember how they showed it last. I think last year they showed it in some random video showcase, and then we got the reveal. I don't know why they aren't already making a huge 180 when it comes to... Well, I will say this, and that's why we gotta wait a little bit to see, so that's why I was trying to do a little bit of devil's advocate. Every time we usually get a new system, like in Burst Era for an example, it would usually take until halfway to end of the season, so end of that year, for us to start seeing a major shift in the meta. So if Pegasus Blast and Cerberus aren't doing much, I'm not saying call it early, but probably is going to be an indication that CX is just going to be really mid. And even if you get a lot of CX options, again, you're just going to get a lot of mid, so unless something really changes, we'll see. I'm not too sure. Same spin upper is hard since they recall knock away horizontally instead of vertically. It also does depend on the design, though, in fairness, right? So that's also going to really be dependent. My brother and I have been trying to figure out what to do with Fox Brush, but we keep... yeah, Fox Brush, maybe one sexy low flat. That's one I kind of liked, but even that one wasn't too crazy. It's always funny because every time I do these testing videos, I'll literally show you the win rate percentage, and I'll be like, this is how much it can actually do, right? So I never mislead or whatever on those results or anything like that. When will we get to Dragoon, but with a rubber assist blade and a ratchet bit? I think if we get a Dragoon from Chrome, it will be UX and it'll be just left spin rubbered or whatever, and I think that would make a lot of sense. Oh, speaking of which, oh shit, this is also really important to say. Around 2 weeks from now, less than 2 weeks, we're going to be getting a major news update on a release schedule. This will be, where is our cutoff date? So it'll be from October till I think February or whatever. It's the same as every year. It's October to February, and then after from there, it's like, what is it? It's like till like March till September or whatever. Those are like the spans whenever I report on it. But that's going to be big news too. I didn't like CX when it was revealed because I felt like they were overcomplicating the X system when it was already... Yeah, and that's the thing that gets really tricky. It's because the system is too simple. So to deviate from it is very tricky. In my opinion, you could do the metal fight system of clear wheels, and I think that would work a lot better than just CX. The issue with CX is if they started off with CX at the start of this generation, there'd be zero issues. But the thing is, because it has CX, you already have BX and UX, so it just makes it really like hurt quite a bit. Yeah, but aside from that, they have to release assist blades that increase the weight enough to the point. It's not really the assist blades that are the problem. It's the metal blades too, right? Because that's what makes a lot of the contact. Like, Arc has a really terrible shape. Perseus does not have a good shape. It's literally based on Night Lens. Arc is a worse wizard arrow. Drawn Brave is a worse drawn sword. So we can look at them and we can say, well, you know, the metal blades are kind of whatever. The assist blades do have to do some work. I agree with that. But also the metal blades do have to actually carry quite a bit. And I think all of the metal blades design have been kind of like... I mean, Cerberus, I think, is a little bit different. And I think Pegasus Blast... I mean, it looks at least a little bit more aggressive than Drawn Brave. But even that one is where I'd say, I don't know. The issue is that they just thin them out too much for the assist blades. I don't know why they do that. My nose is getting really congested right now. This is not good for me. So, I don't know. Well, if GT creates a metal fight bay with a CX system, they could do X overs like that, but I cross over, but I don't think so. The frills of CX just dilute. It's just filler when you look at it. You know, it's like that thing where it's like, oh, it's a release. And I understand if people like CX, and I think it's perfectly fine to like a thing. I like releases that aren't like super... I like Pegasus and Eldrago, the crossovers there, and they're not really that good. I think the issue is because the casual audience doesn't understand why, let's say, a competitive crowd just doesn't like it, so then after they get really frustrated. Like, oh, why are people hating on this? But the casual audience, I think, also just does not have a proper perspective where this would literally be something like... okay, you know, we don't like it, it's not really competitive, but then after they don't understand what does competitive mean. Oh, competitive means beating Wizard Rod. I think most people who say something like that, they don't understand, like, what does that actually mean? Wizard Rod on Ball, I think most things that attackers can do can beat it, but Wizard Rod on Hexa, a consistent win rate, that type of stuff, I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like, I don't know. I hope they create a metal system. I don't think this is the solution either. I don't think weight creep's a good solution. Maybe for CX. Maybe for CX we'll see, but I have no idea. So what about the talk about the tariffs for the Hasbro Beys? I don't know how that works. I think I was reading, and I'm trying to like keep up with all the politics and whatever that's going on in the U.S. I'm pretty sure people who import to bring to the U.S., the prices have changed a little bit where they had to bring it up because I think they're raising the prices. And I think Hasbro is also getting hit by this where also the bays are going to go up. And I am a little bit worried because in the right, before everything started, right? You know, bays were like pretty good pricing, whatever. But if it gets to the point where the bays pricing keeps on going up and up and up, like you have more reason to get from an importer than you probably do on a literal go to the store for Hasbro, which I think is going to be really stupid. But I also think it's a bad situation either way. I think when the prices go up, whatever, nobody really wins, and people just lose quite a bit. I'm excited for 6-bit. Well, I would say Pegasus is probably going to be the one I do my review on first. I mean, Turbo looks pretty exciting. For competitive, God no, but for casual, looks very funny. Cerberus would be second, and then after whatever the crossover is that's going to come out, that would probably be last. Will you review the Hasbro Anniversary set? if it's on Amazon, so I can not have to actually pay money for it, maybe. Because I try to figure out a unique way to do the Hasbro reviews. So it's not just like saying whatever. So my thing now is I'll try to do them in batches. So it'll be like multiple things for one view. And if I do like a singular video, I want to give some sort of fresh new context or something exciting. Like, oh, this is the best combo to use. I feel that's more of exciting than just generic review. Because I have the new Sterling Wolf. Shout out to TR Soul from Florida. Helped out just to get it. But I'll probably do some video with it eventually. That'll also be something. But yeah, I'll have to see. Even as a casual player, CX still is a lot. They don't really have a clear rules to play as. Like, yeah, they're super niche. They're super niche. Yeah, aside from that, I feel like we kind of hit most of the points. So I'm gonna kind of just quickly go over anything I didn't miss that I missed out on. I apologize again. So at the start of this stream, my mic wasn't connected properly, and now my nose is like really, really bad. I haven't been keeping up with gym stuff. That's actually probably the reason why I think I maybe got sick. Because I was catching up, bro. Dude, I had like a really good session, whatever, and I was like really bad sore, and I get like really bad headaches when the weather changes and everything. I just got like super sick. So that messed me up. I'm keeping up with my gym stuff, so that's pretty good. I'm trying to do some gaming stuff, whatever. I need to set up OBS. My OBS settings are still not fixed. I need to figure out how to do that. I'm on my Mac or whatever. I'll do that eventually. But yeah, maybe gaming streams. I don't know what would be the best time to probably do it for. Maybe like late on the day, or I don't know. Maybe like a time like this. No, that's a little too early. What else? We're gonna do the El Drago history video, reason for delay, motivation, and the scale. I need to work on the channel where I'm able to monetarily support myself, and this is more like a passion project. I'm catching up on the anime. I gave up after a bit because I'm like, that's too many episodes for 1 week. What else? What else can I talk about here that we're gonna catch up on? Beys, we're going to be updating our pre-orders for Pegasus Blast probably mid this week. Still undecided if I'm going to try to move completely to UPS because obviously the rates are going to be a lot more. We're going to see if Canada Post still works. What else do we got here? The Beyblade X database. I'm going to try to probably do sometime August to completely catch up with everything that's before July. What else do we got here? The info we're going to find out on Monday is going to basically be on BX45 and UX15. And anything else? No, I think we pretty much hit up on everything. Sick. Yeah, so 3 videos this week. Tier list video. Very big video. You don't have to... you just have it playing in the background. It's going to be super, super long. Very fun to edit. And yeah, I think we pretty much hit on all the notes. I think, yeah... I do apologize again. The good thing I recorded that tier list video, because now I literally just can't speak for shit. I'm also awaiting a response for my top secret emails. Everyone start praying. Well, best of luck to YNOY, by the way. Shout out to YNOY for all their hard work. But, yeah. Okay, I'm going to make sure. Get swole, get on your relay tour. Well, this is the thing. If I'm doing gym, I can't do Beyblade tournaments, just because I do a lot of stuff focused on arms and whatever. I don't have the muscles or muscle names off the top of my head, but it's one or the other. And I'm picking gym over going to a Beyblade tournament, unfortunately. Not really unfortunately. I prefer that. That's a lot more calmer. BX is 10 in the US, and US right now CX is 12 or 13-ish. Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna go like a creep or whatever on pricing. That'll be really scary. Yeah, but that's kind of it. Okay, I think that's kind of it. I think we hit all the topics. All right, thank you guys, support to everyone for this day. Yeah, I'm going to spend most of today just working and editing. I want to try to hunt for those collab 2-packs because they should be coming out through these next few weeks, hopefully. I might combine them all in one video, or I might just do each specific collaboration. I need to get those Jurassic Park ones, the Star Wars one, and then the Brave New World one for the Hulk, I think. Anyways, take care and bye. That's going to be it for now. Please have a wonderful Saturday, and peace. CerberusFlame? More like Cerberus Lame.